Hello everybody, I am back with another recipe for you, and this is the best butternut squash recipe that I have. And you have to begin with one large butternut squash. Well, take half of it, not the whole of it for this recipe, or one small one will do just fine. And then you need to de-seed it with a spoon, always works best, so literally just spoon it out. Next we're gonna split each side into two, so we're gonna get 4 parts out of the original butternut squash. Just an FYI, this vegetable is super hard, so cutting through it you're gonna need a sharp knife and a steady board. It is a tough little vegetable. Then we're gonna take off those little sides that we don't want, the little ends, off each of the pieces that we've cut. And then you're going to take a smaller knife to cut out the insides of each of those pieces. And now with each of those smaller pieces, I'm going to use a normal peeler to peel off the skin. Now make sure you really peel off as much as you can of the outside part, and then anything white that you see, so you just reveal as much orange, because the outside skin is so tough of this vegetable. And now I'm gonna cut it down again to a smaller piece. And this is basically so that we can dice it to as small as possible, so that when we're going to roast it, or if you pan fry it, you've just got smaller pieces which will cook as fast as possible. Once you've washed down your pieces, you just want to put them into a oven dish, and now I'm going to add 2 to 3 tablespoons roughly of olive oil. And to it you want to add 1 teaspoon of salt, about a teaspoon of paprika, a teaspoon of ground pepper, a teaspoon of garlic powder, and a teaspoon finally of some chilli powder. And that is literally all the spices in this recipe. Mix everything up nicely so that the vegetable can fully absorb all of the spices with the oil. Now, while my squash was being roasted, I cooked up a cup of pearl barley just in the pan like you would cook up rice, and I put into it 1 veggie stock cube, and cooked it up. And to it now I'm going to add 3 handfuls of spinach, just fresh clean spinach, not cooked. I'm just going to mix it in to wilt it, fully stir it in, and just leave it to the side. While I was still waiting for the squash to roast up, I chopped up 3 spring onions, just roughly diced them. Chop up a handful of fresh parsley, again just roughly chop that up. Once the butternut squash was ready, fully roasted and cooked, I assembled everything together. So I first started with my pearl barley, put that into a mixing bowl, added to it the squash. As you can see, it is definitely cooked at this point, and it's just so juicy, delicious and flavourful. Make sure that you always add all that oil at the end. Finally, we're ready to add in our fresh chopped up ingredients. So that's the spring onions and the parsley, which just adds such a fresh, delicious taste to the whole dish. And I also squeezed in 1 whole lemon. Just to mention, I did use pearl barley in this recipe, but you can use any alternative grain such as normal rice, quinoa, buckwheat, bulgur, anything will work to create just an equally delicious, flavourful and healthy dish. I hope you give it a go and enjoy.